We are having an interesting start to the week. We found out yesterday that my son has hand, foot, mouth disease. Apparently, that is a very common but contagious fungus. I do not remember hearing or dealing with that when I was a kid. It's pretty brutal. I feel like this is something new. He caught it from one of his cousins, and I mean, it's expected. You know, that's just how it is. A school has any sort of sickness breakout. That means there's a good chance that your kid is going to catch it and bring it home, and that's just exactly what happened. So we're dealing with it. We're taking it one day at a time. I'm looking at things on the bright side, and I'm just thinking, you know what? We are always out and about. It would be nice to have a slow week here at home. Last year, I knocked out a ton of books in my TBR stack. So as a reward, I ordered a bunch of new ones. Okay, let's start with Joan Didion. Joan Didion is one of my favorite authors. I love her writing. She's also one of those authors, when she speaks as if she's writing. I remember I read Play It As It Lays a couple of years ago, and that book is just like pure chaos. This here is the White Album. It is a chaotic yet genius deep dive into the late 1960s and early 1970s. It's a time where everything felt like it was falling apart, but people were like vibing with it anyway. Think true crime meets existential crisis. It's glamorous, dark, and full of anxiety of where the world is headed. Because this is a collection of essays, I think it's supposed to feel like a diary of someone who experienced it all, felt it all, and lived to tell the tale. Okay, let's talk Ripe. This book cover is so pretty. So Cassie, a millennial navigating the high-stakes world of a Silicon Valley startup. On the surface, she's living the dream. There are themes of corporate greed, financial insecurity, emotional isolation. I think many people can relate to this story because these are challenges that I think most people deal with. The fact that we live in a fast-paced, success-driven society. Okay, let's talk about Orbital by Samantha Harvey. Again, I really liked this book cover. This one is about, I believe it's 6 astronauts who are at a space station. I believe one day on Earth is 16 orbits around Earth for them. I hope I got that right. It's supposed to be an introspective and poetic piece on things that we care about as humans, like our memories, humanity, existence. I'm excited to read this one as well. I think all of the books that I got, I really wanted to get books that were less than 300 pages because last year I realized I was reading all these books that were like 350 plus. And sometimes it's just nice to pick up a book that is just less than 250 pages. Next book I want to talk about is this one. The book cover is so cute. That was initially the reason I was drawn to this, because the cat. And also, I remember in high school, I did pottery every year, and I absolutely loved it. And then I did it like a couple times when I lived in LA, like I took a random class here and there, but I never took it seriously. And then a couple of years ago when I moved back here to Vegas, I found a pottery studio, but then I ended up getting pregnant. So it was, you know, a hobby that I wasn't able to get into. Maybe one day. It's kind of tough, like getting a hobby where I have to like constantly leave the house to attend a class, because I feel like I already do that with working out. It's hard trying to make time for something like that. I'd rather have a hobby that I can do here at home. Actually, maybe I could buy my own pottery wheel. I need to add that to the Christmas list for next year. Okay, so The Healing Season of Pottery, I believe this was a bestseller in Korea. This too is also a story about toxic work culture. This follows a young woman who is 30 years old and she is a TV writer. I believe she has some sort of a breakdown and then quits her job. And she's like living in her apartment, just hiding from the world. And then like a couple months later, she leaves the house and she finds a pottery studio. This just feels like a very cozy read. Okay, The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. For too long, Opaline, Martha, and Henry have been these side characters in their own lives, but when a vanishing bookshop casts its spell, these 3 unsuspecting strangers will discover that their own stories are every bit as extraordinary as the ones found in the pages of their beloved books. By unlocking the secrets of the shelves, they find themselves transported to a world of wonder where nothing is as it seems. Again, this feels like a cozy read. I'm so excited to read this. Okay, this one is a long one. It's like almost 500 pages, but I'm okay with that. Just Kids by Patti Smith. I'm excited to read this one. I feel like if you have a creative friend that you vibe with, which I definitely have those people in my life. So this is the real life story of Patty and her friendship with, I believe he was an artist, Robert Mapplethorpe. But honestly, I feel like this is an ode to every late night conversation you've had with a friend. They're broke, they're messy, they're living in New York City. I don't know, I just feel like from what I've read, Patti Smith, like this book is like poetry, but wrapped in leather boots. Next week, I'll probably start putting together the books that I want to read next month. As of right now, I am currently reading a self-help book on my Kindle. I am not the biggest fan of self-help books. I'm really not. But the reason I'm reading it is because it's the January book for my sister-in-law's book club. I did set a goal to go to my sister-in-law's book club every month this year. Like I really wanted to make an effort. Yeah, that means I need to read the book. So I need to finish that by this Sunday. I don't know if I mentioned it, but it's by Mel Robbins. I think it's a new book called Let Them. After I finish Let Them, I am gonna finally finish The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I'm so excited to read this. It's a thriller. It's about a teenager. She vanishes from her summer camp, 1975. A couple weeks ago, someone asked if I would share how I organize and store my stationery, and I figured I'd share it in this week's vlog. Disclaimer, it's not anything fancy. If anything, I'm always looking for new ways to organize my stationery. However, what I'm doing now is working for me. Let's start with this cabinet, which houses all the stationery I need easy access to. My ring binders are tucked in here, and even though I'm not currently using an A5, I do want my ring binders close by in case I need them. If I wasn't using a ring system, I probably would store these in like a storage box or something, or maybe in a closet. But because I am using some sort of a ring system, it's nice to just have them all lined up here. Cloth and paper dust bags, an absolute lifesaver. I have so many of these, so it's nice that I can put them to use. This one here has all of my sticky notes. I have a bunch of discs for a disc system in here, plus some other random pieces of I wouldn't say stationery, but it's just like organizers. Like I have a lot of these like clear tabs from Cloth and Paper. All of my A5 inserts, Happy Planner classic size inserts, A5 dashboards, stickers, so many stickers. This also has, I think these are dashboards for a disc system. I just don't know what size this is. I'm trying to think, what is smaller than a classic? Pocket? I forget. This is my newest addition, A6 inserts. I did consider using crates, like the cute little crates that were pretty trendy a couple of years ago. I have a ton of those that I use for my bathroom, but the idea of using it for my stationery, I just felt like it took up way too much space in here. So dust bags it is. Two more like binder types that help organize my deco cards. This here is the Cloth and Paper photo album, and I just love putting my deco cards in here because I can see everything. And then the second binder I have is this one. This is from Poi and Hun. There are 2 pockets on each page, and this is where I keep all of my page flags. I have all of my cute cases and even more dust bags in here. One thing I loved about last year's Cloth and Paper subscription box is that we were receiving different dust bags and cases. It's so much easier to identify what's inside. Earlier, I shared with you all my stickers. I probably go through this bag every month. So when I'm rummaging through this cabinet looking for stationery, it's really easy for me to just grab this dust bag. And that also goes for my A6 inserts. This is a white dust bag, so it's really easy to find this one as well. I'll admit, this bottom right section underneath my cases could use a decluttering session. So I'm going to take this out now. I really need to get back into my family calendar. This was really useful when I was using it, but I got so busy over the holiday that it's just been in here. Fun discovery. This IKEA shelving unit is magnetic. So I wish I would have known this sooner, but I have been putting all of my magnetic clips here. How nice is that? It's so easy to see what I have. As I said earlier, this cabinet houses all of the things that I just need access to. Everything I'm actively using fits in this sleek black case from Cloth and Paper. Sadly, they do not sell this product. Everything fits in this case. I have my A6 Hobonichi Original double-sided tape. The yellow and orange pen is for my Hobonichi Original. That white thing in the middle is actually a pair of scissors and then a mechanical pencil. I've got the stickers I'm using this month. Now that my planner is an A6, it also fits in my black case. So it's really neat that I'm able to just carry around this case around the house, and it just fits everything, including the planner and my journal. I did a little decluttering. I took out some things that I was not using, which brings me to the closet. Yes, I'm sitting in a closet. It's a little chaotic in here, but we're gonna roll with it. The stuff that I took out. The bottom drawer has a ton of stationery and notebooks that I have never used, which is why some of these items are just gonna go in here. This drawer has a whole bunch of like, I don't know, random toys and stationery. It's more so stuff for the kids. It's like when my nieces come over, I have things and activities for them. So that's what this drawer is. The rest of the drawers are all of the items that I need to wrap gifts. So ribbons, cards, tape. I have tissue paper in here, boxes and bags in the top drawer. If you've been in the planning and journaling scene for quite some time, you've probably switched your style Once or twice. I know I have. Back in the day, I used to cover my planner in a ton of stickers, washi tape. Then I got into bullet journaling, which led to a massive collection in pens, markers, and stationery. So at the very top of this storage unit, I have a bunch of crates up here, and it's just markers. Markers and pens. I like to keep them up here because I never use them. However, whenever my nieces come over and they're in the mood to draw, there are a couple sets that I don't mind them borrowing. And I almost forgot, these white containers hold stickers and stamps. I'll admit, sometimes I forget they're here. Isn't this a lot of stationery for someone who has a minimal planning style? Maybe. I might need it later on. But on that note, since I have been spending a lot of time at home, I've had a little bit more time to myself. I've always wanted to create a planner for my son. He's 2 now, and he is a sponge. He's just soaking everything in, and I wanted a planner so that I could be more intentional with what we are watching and learning every week by having themed weeks. And this week, we've been talking about feelings. We're learning how to identify emotions in storybooks and in real life. To organize all of this, I got him his own planner. This is a Happy Planner classic. I love Happy Planner for teachers. I do. It's just the perfect calendar setup for setting up lesson plans. It's colorful, it's bright, I think it's super fun. I have been using my stickers, which has been really fun. That's my stationery organization in a nutshell. It's not perfect, and it's definitely a work in progress, but it's what's working for me right now.